Tonight in my two-part series of motion pictures in San Diego, I go in search of the stories behind the stories, like what went into making Top Gun the biggest recruiting tool the Navy has ever seen, and the lengths filmmakers will go to get that magic shot. Here is a look now at the hard work behind the Hollywood magic.
San Diego Zoo, SeaWorld, San Diego Chargers.
You stay classy, San Diego.
San Diego.
San Diego?
She was already working in San Diego doing some research at the animal park.
For over a century, San Diego has been a second home to Hollywood, offering everything from beautiful backdrops to military might to help tell a story. But no story on screen tells the full story, like what went into getting that magic shot. And no one knows that more than the man behind Top Gun, retired Rear Admiral Pete Pettigrew, or as I like to call him, the architect of the accident.
They came to me and said, we have to have an accident.
As the technical consultant on the film, he had to get creative, meeting both Hollywood standards and the military's.
You can't destroy like 4 or 5 airplanes because the Navy will never accept that. So it's going to have to be a single airplane accident. And they said, okay, we can do that. And they said, but there's one other restriction. The radar intercept officer has to die. And so I thought, and Tom Cruise can't be blamed for it. He has to feel responsible for it, but to be vindicated by the Navy.
Pettigrew also helped choreograph another famous scene from the movie, and there are still pieces of it in San Diego. You just have to know where to look.
Talk about uncovering some San Diego film history. Under this tarp is all that's left of the control tower used in the famous flyby scene when Tom Cruise buzzes the tower. You recall in the film, it didn't go over so well with the military brass. Well, apparently in real life, it didn't go over so well either.
He went a little low coming through, which looked really good. But when he came out of the turn and ended up over Scripps Ranch, he was a little low there too. And there were a lot of complaints about it.
Instead of flying at 200 feet, the pilot dropped to just 100.
He was an aggressive pilot. The call sign was Bozo.
That makes sense then.
No, yeah. Well, maybe.
Another pivotal scene shot in San Diego for the movie Traffic also had its issues with the public, like their safety.
After weeks and weeks of planning, just 48 hours before a big car bomb was supposed to explode right here for an action scene in the movie Traffic, the Film Commission gets a call that certain kinds of cell phones could make it accidentally detonate on its own. And on top of that, they learned at the precise moment it was to explode, a trolley was scheduled to go by.
We called to see if we could stop the trolley and do this. It was a Padre game.
Finally, the explosion went off without a hitch. But no one foresaw what almost prevented Antoine Fisher from shooting here. 9/11 happened just 2 weeks before filming at Camp Pendleton. It was a security miracle Denzel Washington's directorial debut wasn't dead in the water. Some movies make just a little splash locally, like this scene in Splash, shot at Black's Beach, but said to be Cape Cod in the film. The one scene in Bruce Almighty shot here, made to look like Buffalo, New York, was another one Cruise went to unbelievable lengths to get.
It took 200 crew members 2 weeks just to turn this 2-minute scene here on Harbor Island into an exact match of Buffalo, New York. And because it was shot at night and it took so long to get the shot, all of these lampposts started to burn out. So in their desperation, the Film Commission actually started stealing light bulbs from other light posts around the area. And that's not all.
It was in November, and so the Christmas and holiday lights were up. We had to talk the hotels into turning them off so it would match the Buffalo scene. We had to have a 3-foot pothole dug.
And San Diego didn't even get the credit. So why do it? Well, the financial windfall can be Titanic.
They spent $70 million here, Titanic.
That's right. Leonardo DiCaprio and company didn't even film here directly, but all the money trickled across the border from Baja. It's a different kind of payoff for scenes like this one from the movie Sideways. A few seconds on the 5 might not seem like much, but the exposure was priceless when the small indie flick became a surprise hit. So to answer Alex the Lion's question,
San Diego? What could be worse than San Diego?
I don't know. This place is crack-a-lackin'. Oh, I can hang here. I can hang here.
and so can Hollywood.
It's like our news meeting there. Well, Top Gun is marking its 25th anniversary, if you can believe that. I wasn't even born. And Top Gun 2 is back in the works to celebrate the occasion. And that control tower left over from the film sitting at MCAS Miramar, well, that is headed over to the Leatherneck Museum on base, where San Diegans can continue to appreciate the film.